What's going on, guys? Austin here. In this video, we're going to be looking at 5-Minute Fantasies Week 11 Booming and Busting Running Backs. My start of the week this week is going to be Leonard Fournette. He's going up against an Indianapolis Colts running rush defense who's given up about, I believe it was 4.6 yards per carry, so quite a bit. That coupled with the fact that I think they're coming off a bye and that Nick Foles is back newly into the lineup the second time. I think that he's in for a really big day. I'm going to say start James White up against Philadelphia. This Philadelphia defense is really good at stopping the run. I believe they're top 7 in the NFL. However, they're not great against covering running backs out of the backfield. So James White, more than Sony Michel and more than Rex Burkhead, is going to be that top receiving option for Tom Brady, who can't really pass down the field much anymore. Look for James White to be having a big day this week. You're going to want to start Brian Hill, the Atlanta running back, going up against Carolina, because Carolina's rush defense has slowly slipped in the last several weeks. That coupled with the fact that Ito Smith is out and Devonta Freeman is out. This new guy Brian Hill, if you really need a running back, he could potentially get you 13 to 15 points this week. I'm going to say start Tevin Coleman, the San Francisco 49ers running back against the Arizona Cardinals. With, a couple of the other side options like I believe Matt Breida being out. The next guy up would be Raheem Morris, I think is how you pronounce his name. So really at this point it's just kind of Tevin Coleman. He's going to be one of that top, receiving out of the backfield and running back options. So look for him to have a big day. Start both the Chargers running backs. This is a Kansas City defense that can't not stop the run. They just gave up 190 yards, I think, to Derrick Henry. He ran all over the field against them. And then I'm going to say start Ty Johnson, the Lions running back against Dallas, and kind of like one of those like lower tier flex. If this is like one of those 12-team leagues where, you're kind of weak at running back, Ty Johnson is not a bad option. This Dallas team gives up quite a few points to running backs. They've been giving up big games, against guys like Aaron Jones or Dalvin Cook. They've been giving up yards. I'm going to say sit Philip Lindsay. He's going up against one of the worst pass defenses in the league and one of the best rush defenses in the league. So that doesn't bode well for Philip Lindsay in this upcoming contest. Nick Chubb against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've been saying I love this Pittsburgh defense, and they're really going to key in on Nick Chubb, force Baker Mayfield to throw, because when Baker Mayfield throws, not only is he going to be throwing to Jarvis and Odell, but Minkah Fitzpatrick is back there as well, who is slowly making himself a case for Defensive Player of the Year. Gotta say sit Todd Gurley. Even though Chicago Bears don't do well at covering running backs at this point in the season, you gotta think that they're going to be able to do enough to slow down Todd Gurley with whatever kind of confusing rep limit he's on right now. I wish him the best of luck in his, with his condition, because it's not an injury. It's like a degenerative knee issue. So, that offensive rookie of the year that we saw back in 2015, the MVP candidate that we saw, I believe it was 2017 or 18. I don't think we're really ever going to see him again. Especially at least this week, you're not going to want to start him. And then David Montgomery, the Chicago Bears running back, against the Rams. The Rams have a top 10 rush defense so far. And, really at this point, they believe that all they need to do is shut down David Montgomery. And, they'll have the entire Chicago Bears offense taken care of. Especially with Jalen Ramsey sitting back there on Allen Robinson, who, this week I would not start because he's got to go up against Jalen Ramsey. David Montgomery's not going to have a good week. And then I don't think Marlon Mack will either. I think Jacksonville has enough personnel, and they know how to cover running backs. Even though they're not necessarily graded well, they're coming out of a bye. They have time to prepare. I don't know if they're going to be facing Jacoby Brissett or Brian Hoyer, but especially if they're facing Brian Hoyer, they're really going to key in on the run, and it's going to be a lot more difficult for Marlon Mack to get his yards. So watch out for those things this week.